Hey there. A lot of you have been waiting a long time for Chapter 11 and the future chapters of Navigating Early by Clare Vanderpool. With the impending snow about to plummet anywhere, I think I heard north of Pennsylvania. I was kicking back and relaxing, scrolling through social media this evening, and I realized, whoop, I dropped the ball. We can't all be perfect 100% of the time. So I'm back with Navigating Early by Clare Vanderpool. This is chapter 11. Kick back and relax and enjoy with me. One night in the workshop, as we were making some final adjustments to the seat track and rigger bolts, Early said, "I'm going on a trip for fall break. Do you want to come with me, Jackie?" I was surprised. He never went anywhere and seemed to enjoy being alone. On days when all the boys were given day passes to go into town, Early never went along. For the most part, he did what he wanted at school, and I figured that, since he showed up for meals and Sunday chapel, no one really felt the need to keep tabs on him. I couldn't figure out who he would be taking a trip with, but I didn't have any interest in going along. Sorry, my dad's taking shore leave and he's coming to visit. I hadn't realized until I said it how much I'd been looking forward to seeing my dad. Maybe he was missing me too. He's coming to watch the fall regatta and then we're going to Portland. Okay, said Early. Where are you going? I'm going on a quest. Oh, you are? I said, humoring him like he was a little kid instead of a boy the same age as me. A quest for what? For Pie. That Professor Stanton thinks he's dead, but he's just missing. I'm going to find him, and then Professor Stanton will quit saying he's dead. He's not dead. I didn't know what to say. I knew that Early had his story of Pie and that it upset him to hear the mathematician's claims. But how could a story change the outcome of the mathematician's theory? Early, I think Professor Stanton is just talking about the number pi. He's not saying that the character pi is dead. He's just saying the number's dead. The numbers don't end. Pi is not dead. Early spoke with the same authority he used in calling out his coxswain directions. He grabbed his jar of jelly beans, spilled them out on the workbench, and started sorting. Green, blue, yellow, red, orange. His breathing was short and fast. I just needed to calm him down. Early, let's not worry about it right now. I'm sure Pie is fine. He's probably had another mishap on his boat. But if we can fix the sweetie pie, surely he can get his boat up and running again. What was happening the last time we saw him? He was in danger. Early's breathing slowed a bit as we heard a pitter-pattering on the window. It was raining. I reached for a particular record and placed it on the turntable. A swell of music broke the tension, and Early began his story, this time with no numbers on a chalkboard. He knew the story by heart. And in the background of Early's story was her voice, her soul, her sadness and longing. Because when it's raining, it's always Billie Holiday. This is Early's story, plights, and perils. Pie faced many dangers. Sharks stalking him for days, their fins gliding alongside his boat, perhaps just waiting for him to fall overboard, perhaps hoping to drive him mad enough to jump in. But the bugs were more likely to drive him crazy. On a windless stretch of water, he encountered a swarm of stinging, buzzing insects, so thick the sky was darkened all around him. They hovered and burrowed while he slapped and scratched. By the time a breeze picked up, allowing him to sail away, he was so swollen that he could barely see or breathe, and the welts on his skin oozed and itched for days. One of his moments of greatest peril occurred in the balmy season, when the winds could whip up into gale force in minutes. His boat was sturdy and strong, and small enough that he could maneuver it quickly, tacking his way and tacking this way and that to steer himself clear of rough waters. But this time it was different. There seemed to be no end to the howling wind and roiling water. Hours turned into days until suddenly he found himself in an eerie calm. The waters were still, too still. The wind had died down so quickly it seemed to have sucked the very breath out of him. He had never experienced such a deathly quiet. Then, as quickly as it had come, the eye of calm was gone. Again he was blown and battered by the storm. Finally, his strength gave out, and he was swept into the sea. His body floated amid the churning waves, and his mind floated between dream and reality. Was it really a whale that looked him in the eye? He had heard stories of people being swallowed by whales. One voyager even stayed alive for days before being spit out. Did this whale really swim beneath him, keeping him afloat? Would a whale nudge a body safely to shore? Had he really looked into the deep, somber eye of a big white whale? This was the memory Pi was left with when he found himself sprawled on yet another beach, surrounded by mangled driftwood, weeds, and the carcasses of fish that had not fared as well as he during the storm. The image of a benevolent whale was a pleasant one, but it was quickly shoved aside when he stood and raised his eyes to a great mountain with plumes of smoke and bursts of molten rock spewing from its gaping mouth. He recalled the expression from his village, out of the kettle and into the fire. He wasn't in the fire yet, but a glowing stream of it was on its way. That's it for chapter 11. I will have chapter 12 for you soon, I promise. Thank you.